What's up, Wisconsin DECA? Welcome back to the Competitive Excellence Series, Strategies for Improving Test Scores. My name is Lauren Weiss, and I'm a 4-year member from Racine Case DECA. I have tons of experience in competition, in both roleplay and project events, and I'm absolutely no stranger to DECA testing. Something I've learned in the 4 years that I've competed is that everybody prepares for the DECA test in so many different ways. There really is no wrong way to prepare, unless you're not preparing at all. What works for you may not work for someone else, and that's okay. Over time, you'll find a system that works. Don't worry about it if you don't have a system just yet. I'll get to study strategies in a minute, but if you're new to DECA or you just need a refresher, you might be asking yourself, what is a DECA test? They are 100 questions, and they're all multiple choice. There are 7 tests you could potentially take, depending on the event you're competing in. To know which test you'll be taking, head over to deca.org and check out the Competitive Events tab under High School. Or just talk to your DECA advisor. They'll know. No matter which DECA test you ultimately take, you'll be getting questions from all of the major clusters: business administration, marketing, finance, hospitality, and entrepreneurship. The only difference between the tests is that they all have their own unique point of focus. For instance, if you're taking the marketing cluster exam, you'll get many questions about marketing concepts, but you still have to remember that you're going to get questions about finance and hospitality. Having a wide range of business knowledge is really helpful when taking the DECA test. Because all DECA tests are multiple choice, I want to share with you some general multiple choice test-taking best practices. These might seem a bit common sense and simple, but they are so important. First, read what the question is asking you, and read all of the answer options before making a choice. Simply skimming through questions and not reading it to fully understand exactly what it is asking is going to hurt your test score. Second, use the process of elimination. If you can get yourself down to 2 answer options instead of 4, you'll be in much better shape. And third, always choose the most correct answer. Sometimes there can be multiple answer choices that might seem correct, so rereading the question can help. If there still could be multiple correct answers, always choose the most correct one. Process of elimination can help with this too. Now that we have general multiple choice tips out of the way, I want to get specific to DECA. I asked a bunch of other DECA members what their best advice was on improving test scores, and by far, the most common answer was simply take a practice test. You can find practice tests on the DECA website, you can buy them on Shop DECA, and your chapter advisor is also a really great resource. There are some things to think about when using a DECA practice test to prepare them. First, you don't have to complete the whole thing in one sitting. If you have 10 minutes between classes or 30 minutes of downtime during the day, that's a great time that you could be using to get further on your DECA test. Just be careful. You also want to be comfortable sitting for your entire 100 questions when the time comes to actually take the test. Second, have some sort of marking system in place when you're taking the test so that you can go back and review your answers when you're done. Some people like to color code and other people like to annotate. Whatever your preference, have a way to mark for vocabulary terms you didn't know the meaning to and for questions you were unsure of. Third, always, and I mean always, go back through the test by grading it and reviewing the answers you got wrong and the questions you marked you were unsure of. You'll learn from your mistakes and you'll be more confident for next time. Most DECA practice tests have an answer key with explanations that provide a great resource for you to review. Fourth, don't be afraid to take practice tests from other clusters that you ultimately won't be competing in. Because of the way DECA tests are structured, you'll find questions in the other tests that are still applicable to your cluster. And if you take enough tests, you might find repeat questions. Also, don't be afraid to retake a practice test you've already taken, whether it's from your own cluster or a different cluster. You'll be able to track learning over time, and you'll get to see your progress. One of the other most common answers from my DECA peers was to simply get familiar with the knowledge and concepts that come up on DECA tests. Whether it's taking business and marketing classes in school, watching YouTube videos or TV shows like Shark Tank, or listening to podcasts, immersing yourself in the business world and learning about business-related concepts is going to increase your understanding. The bonus? It doesn't have to be boring. Are you interested in why Netflix thrived and Blockbuster failed for our generation? How Google, Microsoft, or Apple became such giants in technology? Or what led Jeff Bezos to be the richest man on earth? If you're interested in it, and it can improve your DECA test score, it's a win-win scenario. Another way to study is to look at performance indicators for role plays. They're great because they allow you to gauge what DECA wants you to know, and they cover such a wide range of knowledge that you're bound to learn something new. You can find them on the DECA Inc. website, by a quick internet search, or by asking your chapter advisor. The final strategy I can recommend to improve your test scores is to manage your time in preparation. Set reasonable goals for yourself to meet by the time competition comes, and start early and be consistent about preparation. By doing that, you'll give yourself that much more time to actually prepare, and you won't be as stressed when competition actually comes. So, Wisconsin DECA, I hope you're ready to bring your testing abilities to the next level by utilizing some of these strategies and building a competition journey that works for you. Keep watching the Competitive Excellence series for other competition advice from experienced DECA members.